Hello students, in the previous video I explained you the first three basic agricultural practices, and that were preparation of soil, sowing of seed and adding manures and fertilizers. So today we will continue the rest of the agricultural practices in the chapter and we will try to conclude the chapter. So let's start today's discussion. Students, you know the importance of water in our life. In the same way, water is very essential for the plants too. From the germination of seed till the formation of fruit, water is needed at each and every step. So the next step in the agriculture is irrigation. After the seeds are sown and the fertilizers are provided in the field, we provide water to the seeds so to break their seed coat, because water makes the hard seed coat soft and seedling germinates, and it absorbs nutrients also with the help of water. So the artificial supply of water to crops at regular intervals is known as irrigation, and in our country various sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. You know students, rain is the natural source of irrigation, but in our country it is very uncertain. So our farmers are dependent on the traditional and modern methods of irrigation. Moat, dhekli, rahat and chain pump are the traditional methods of irrigation, in which the water is fetched out from the wells or the canals with the help of some animals along with some simple machines. But all these traditional methods are not efficient, because a lot of water is wasted when the water is carried to the crop field through the narrow open canals. So nowadays we are practicing sprinkler and drip system, which is the modern method of irrigation. In both of these systems, in spite of carrying water openly, the water is supplied to the crops in the closed pipes, and this water is pumped through a motor pump. And in sprinkler system, pipes are arranged in a perpendicular manner, having a rotating nozzle at the top which sprinkles water to the crop field like an artificial rain. In drip system, the pipes run parallel to the rows of crops, and they have small holes near the roots of the plants through which water moves drop by drop. In both of these modern methods, we need a motor pump for the supply of water as well as a network of pipelines. So both of these methods are very costly, but they are very efficient to save water, and they are practiced in the hilly areas too. When we compare the traditional one, they need a lot of physical labor. So many of the questions can be asked from this topic, like what is irrigation, what are the sources of irrigation, what are the methods of irrigation, what are the traditional methods of irrigation, or what are the modern methods of irrigation. And the question may be asked also, what are the advantages of sprinkler and drip irrigation system. So I hope you will be able to give answers if any questions will be asked from this related topic. So moving to the next topic, that is protection from weeds. So the next practice in agriculture is protection of our crops from the weeds. So students, what do you think? when we are going to sow the seeds in soil, only our selected crop seeds will be present there, or there may be some unwanted plants too. Yes, of course, some unwanted plants will also grow there, and it is because that from plowing the field till the irrigation, a number of days are involved. So it may possible that few of the unwanted plant seeds or spores can reach up to our field with the help of birds or air. So these unwanted plants which grow naturally with our crops are known as weeds, and some common examples of weeds are various grasses, wild oats, amaranthus and chenopodium. Actually, these weeds are very dangerous for our crops, as the weeds compete with our selected crops in the field for available nutrients, water, space and sunlight, and ultimately they reduces our crop yield. So these weeds must be removed from our crop field for better crop productivity. Our farmers use a variety of tools like spade and hoe to remove these weeds manually from the field, and sometimes they sprinkle some chemicals known as weedicides to destroy weeds in the field without affecting our crops. So some common examples of weedicides are DDT, Aldrin and Dieldrin. So now we have sown the seeds in the soil, and we provided sufficient amount of water and nutrient in the form of fertilizers and manures, and we also protected them from weeds. So normally it takes 3 to 4 months to a crop to become mature and ready to be harvested. So once again, a lot of questions can be asked only from this segment, like why do we need to protect our crops from weeds, or why weeds must be removed from the field, or what are weeds and weedicides and their examples. I hope by discussing all these points you will be able to solve any of the questions that can be asked from this related topic. So now we are going to move to the next topic, that is harvest. So once the crop is mature, it must be removed from the field, and cutting and gathering of a ripe crop from the field is known as harvesting. Generally in our country, at lower level in small fields, farmers use a tool sickle to harvest the crops manually, but at larger level a machine known as harvester is used to harvest the crops from the field. You know students, the whole crop plant is not edible for us, so the edible parts of the crop, that are seed grains, must be separated from the unedible part, that are known as chaff. So the separating of grain seeds from the chaff is known as threshing, and this threshing can be done manually as well as with the help of machine too. Manually it is done at a small level with the help of a process that is known as winnowing. Students, you may have observed in your surrounding, few of the farmers are going to drop the seed grains combined with the fine particles of chaff from a height in the presence of wind, because the fine particles, when they are released from a height, they are lighter than the seed grains, so they will be carried away from the wind, and by this process the seeds are separated from the chaff. In the next method, a machine known as thresher is used to remove the chaff from the seed grains, and one more modern machine known as combine is used nowadays, in which the harvesting and threshing both processes can be done with the help of this single machine. So moving to the last topic, last practice in crop production or basic agricultural practice, that is storage. Storage of produce is an important task because it protects the produce from being spoiled by insects, pests, moisture and microbes. You know students, when the grains are harvested, they contain some amount of moisture. So before storing them, they are properly dried in the presence of sun to avoid moisture, because moisture favors the growth of microbes. In our country at a lower level, farmers use jute bags and metallic bins to store food grains, but at larger level, grains are stored in silos and granaries, and to avoid pests and insects, dried neem leaves are used to store food at our homes, but in big godowns, some specific chemicals are used to treat these pests and insects so that our crops can be protected for a longer duration. So that was all from this chapter. I hope you all understood well, and at the end of the video I will provide you some assignments related to the today's topic, today's discussion, and I hope you all will be able to solve it. So thank you all for watching. Stay home, stay safe.